Being in Texas and Austin, the movie Dazed and Confused, it does come up from time to time. Matt McConaughey lives right around here, and that whole movie was shot right here. So, once in a while, you should just pay tribute to the movie Dazed and Confused and just say, all right. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just trying to kill minutes until people join us. We've got one folk hanging out. Hello, say hi in the chat. I'm just going to hydrate myself a bit. I've got a little red mark in the center of my nose. I've been at work for the last couple of days with a mask where it's like a cloth mask, but the seam just like sits right there. I always try to wear it crooked because if I don't, after a few days, it like creates this divot in my nose. Anyway, let's not look at it. Well, hi, how are you? It's our last episode before Thanksgiving. I'm not sure if I'll do an episode of this next week or not, just recuperating from the holiday. I'm not going to really be keeping up on stuff. However, I have been getting some messages on Twitter and whatnot to look at stuff, which is great. So definitely send me stuff if you've got it. I want to talk about it. Absolutely. All right, it's officially 8 o'clock. Or, well, depending on where you are. It's 8 o'clock for me, 9 o'clock maybe for you if you're on the East Coast. Fucking 6 o'clock if you're in California. Sorry. My face gets really itchy after wearing a mask all day. Anyway, so yeah, there was a theme that came up this week that I did not expect to see. And some of it was old footage. And we'll get to it. But some of it was old footage, but I thought that because I was seeing so much of this one particular topic, and it's the headline of this show, I definitely wanted to talk about it. I have personal experience with it, and man, lots of people do. And I don't think it's a topic that generally gets taken seriously, which is a goddamn shame, but we'll get to it. So, without any further ado, let's get started. If you're hanging out, say hi in the chat. How's the audio? How's the video? How's your life? How's things? Let's do the growing down. That look good to you? Looks good to me. Do one more. All right, Chrome, let's get you moving. There's that absolute beauty. Someday I'll get a better home screen than just this green. I like the green though. It's nice. I don't normally like green. All right. So starting off the week on Sunday, according to nationalinterest.org, the Pentagon is planning on Russian help in case of alien invasion. The military plans for all kinds of contingencies. Russia may not have a plan in case aliens land, but the Pentagon has at least considered it. Before we go any further on this, fucking obviously, I feel like as bumbling as we like to make the people in charge seem, for them to not have a contingency like this, even if we weren't constantly dealing with the fact that these things are more and more real every day, you would expect there to be some sort of thing, like that book Zombie Survival Guide. It's obviously, we don't think there's going to be a zombie apocalypse, and it's not an official book, of course, but it's a good survival book, so of course there would be some groundwork. Anyway, let's move on. Here's what you need to remember. Scientists concur that Earth's first contact with alien life is likely to come in the form of a robotic space probe detecting evidence of microbes on Mars, Enceladus, Europa, or some other distant body. Muma. We're going to talk about Avi in a minute, too. But the Pentagon isn't taking any chances. In an odd episode in 2013, Russian space officials... Get out of here. Russian space officials admitted unprovoked that Moscow has no strategy for combating an invasion by galactic marauders. That's my new band name. Luckily for planet Earth, the United States does have a plan, and it counts on Russia and America fighting together. Sergei Berezhnoy, on staff of the Titov Space Control Center near Moscow, said that Russian air defense officers have not been tasked with preparing for the contingency of an alien attack. There are enough problems on Earth and in near-Earth space. I agree. A team of scientists from America's NASA Planetary Service Division disagreed. While humanity has not observed any extraterrestrial intelligence, contact with ETI remains possible. Seth Baum, Jacob Hack-Misra, and Sean Domagal-Goldman wrote in a 2011 paper. It's interesting to note that that's a 2011 paper, and now we do have signs of intelligence. So the article goes on, and there's a link in the show description if you want to check it out. But I just thought it was, I don't know, kind of funny. I guess it's not super funny, but it just the idea that Russia was like, oh, I don't fucking know, but America's like, oh yeah, no, we're good to go. I don't necessarily buy that Russia is not good to go, but we'll see. All right, moving on. Also on Sunday, we got our first sighting of the week. Well, that I'm covering. Over in Dallas-Fort Worth, we got this guy.
So that is a planet. What is that moving there in the sky? Weird. That is the brightest planet. If that's what it is, but I don't think so. I've never seen it before. It could be. Let's see. There's a lot of odd things in the sky right now. Let me see. I'm going to back up. Super bright. Hanging low. I don't think that's a planet. I don't know what it is, but if it is... it's in I'm in Texas, and it's in the northern sky. Oops, look at that right there. What is that? Going by it. Man, they are watching us. That is not an airplane. Look at that. Unbelievable. Wow.
I appreciate her filming
our planet here?
steadily, but I wish you
wow, they're
give
coming
me a
down.
still shot so I can watch the movements.
Oh, now it's moving. Look at that. It was totally still.
Oh, plane.
Unbelievable stuff.
So this was a plane.
Look at those
This was a plane coming at her head on, and then it turned, and now we can see the lights. Dallas-Fort Worth, it's a high air traffic area. That's probably all. Well, it's got 0 upvotes, so that's probably a sign. Could be air traffic and one bright light is probably a plane coming towards you. Yeah, cool. Problem solved. Moving on, another sighting from Panama City, Florida. Just curious to know, also 0 upvotes, not a good sign. Let's crank the volume. I said crank the volume. This looks like lanterns to me. The flickering of them makes me think that.
Holy shit.
Otherwise, they're fairly steady. I mean, they're drifting a little bit, but because they're flickering like that, it seems obvious that it's flame. I know I spend a lot of time being skeptical on here and trying to rip shit apart, but we should be doing that. That's part of our job as observers, is trying to break it down as simply as we possibly can, and try to rule out all conclusions. That looks like lanterns to me. I'm not picking easy stuff. I'm just picking stuff that initially catches my eye, and usually I'm scrolling first thing in the morning, so who knows. But if you've got some fucking wild ones you want me to take a look at, definitely send them my way, because I would love to. I'm not a hardline skeptic. I am a believer in general. Anyway, moving on. I didn't even look at the comments. You want to look at them? I forgot all about it. I got sidetracked. Looks like there could be air traffic. That is not the right one. This one. Resemble Chinese lanterns. Yeah. Not much help. I'm going to say lanterns, unless anyone in the chat have a better idea. Who knows? All right, so that's Sunday. Easy day. Easy, like Sunday evening. Coming up on Monday, more Dallas-Fort Worth UFOs via Twitter. I forgot all about this. All right, so multiple appearing and disappearing objects sighted today in Texas near the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Hold your goddamn camera still. Also, just a quick note. If you're filming stuff, landscape. Landscape. Let's take another look at that. So there's one there. That looks like a bird, right? It looks like a bird circling. There's another one. Man, I thought these were going to be more. Bird is the word. Anyway, Captain Butthole, the OP, that's his actual name apparently. God bless him and all his good service. This is recorded at 11:10 a.m. in Texas near the Dallas-Fort Worth area on November 15th, 2021. I was on a stopped school bus at the time. You can hear in the video when it starts moving. I had noticed this object appearing, disappearing, and moving erratically, and after a few seconds of this, pulled out my phone to record. I've never seen an object like this before, but I've been following the UAP topic for a while. The main object was definitely a physical object. I did not see the others that showed up on the video with my own eyes. At some points of the video, they seem to create an after image of sorts, but this could be an artifact of the 30x zoom on my phone. It is. This was near a major international airport, but there was just no way that this is a plane or helicopter. I have no idea what these could have been. Man, I didn't see any erratic movement. I saw circling. That's what I saw, and it just looked like a bird doing its thing. I'm just scrolling through the comments here. I'm not saying it's birds. It's definitely birds. This guy says he noticed small bursts of acceleration once the move speed slows down. I think that's an optical illusion. As it's pulling away, it's going to look slower, and then once it pulls that curve, it's going to look a little faster. I didn't notice that. Maybe. Birds, birds, birds. That's what I think. This whole, all these UFO sightings, man, just a big old flock of nothing. Moving on, we've got a UFO phase shifting. Okay, so this was pretty interesting footage, and I'll be goddamned if it's not just fake, because it got me. Drone footage of a UFO in Gorge de Verdun Canyon. UFO phase shifts through solid rock, September 2014. They got a lot of awards and a pretty good score, so I've got a good feeling about it, and it's a solidly interesting video. Here we go. So there, this is not like a too obscure thing. If you're familiar with ufology at all, this is a mildly common thing that happens. craft going in and out of rock or volcanoes, the ocean, but rock cliffs. It's not unheard of. Man, that's seamless. The zoom is really distorting the world around it, so I'm having trouble like seeing anything. Could be real. Let's check out the comments and take a look. Clearly how a four-dimensional object behaves in three-dimensional space. Or bird. That's also true. So before I went on my short little hiatus, I brought to you guys that video that showed how four-dimensional objects move through three-dimensional spaces, and it did look similar to that sort of quick fade out. Let's take a look here. Looks like the edge of the mountain obstructing the view of a recess. Tough to really say since the resolution is shit. Yeah, I agree. But it was still moving quick enough where if it was, unless it was just hovering under some rock wall or something. A bird gliding to its nest in the side of a cliff. Quality compression were better, would be able to see it much easier. That's possible. Let's rewatch that. Could be. It's going at a fucking good clip though. I mean, the video is slowed down right now, but on the original clip, I just want to go back to it. Bloop. I don't know. That one's up in the air for me. There's none of the like the flapping motion like we just saw in the Dallas-Fort Worth video. But again, the resolution is garbage, so I don't know. Really good video. Unless it's fake, and then you son of a bitch. All right. Also on Monday, green fireballs. All right. Green fireballs leaving the planet. Official NASA photo. We can see it right there. Is there a video or is it just this? That is neat. Several old NASA photos have green defects or artifacts. In this video, I show some examples of why this could be an artifact. They don't show anything leaving the planet. Fair enough. Could be debris skipping through the upper atmosphere. Yeah, I also saw a shooting star the other day. Let me tell you my shooting star story from the other day. It's not fantastic, but it's interesting to me. So I took a little walk around the cemetery. Walking home, I hear this sound like fire being blown out, like that. I look up, and a shooting star, but it disappears. It burns out, you know? I've never had sound associated. I've seen shooting stars and fireballs fairly low in the sky, and I've never heard one before. But the sound, it sounded like the fire went out, and then I saw it. And I don't know shit about shit, but it was very interesting. Cool moment for me. This, I like the idea that it's just shit burning up in the atmosphere. That seems pretty fucking likely, honestly. I'm definitely going to watch this video, Green Artifacts, but I'm not going to watch it right now. So if you want to go to this person's page, APAISS, check it out. Maybe I'll watch it over Thanksgiving. All right, moving on. Lastly, on Monday, speaking of probes, not saying it was aliens, but Oumuamua probably wasn't a nitrogen iceberg. Over on phys.org, the article, quickly, because I've been on Monday for like 2 hours, is basically saying that the widely popular theory about Oumuamua being a nitrogen iceberg probably isn't accurate. There were definitely some similarities to what they would expect from a nitrogen iceberg, but there were too many dissimilarities. And I think in the article they also go on to say the notion of the nitrogen iceberg just picked up steam, and it was an easy explanation. People just latched onto it, and that's that. Swing over to phys.org. The link is in the description. Let's get to Tuesday. Treats for the big guy. That's my note. At least I'm getting creative with my useless fucking notes. North Carolina woman who left treats for beast and claims to have photos. Beautiful.
A mystery tonight in North Carolina in the forest. A local woman says she is seeing something very strange, something that she can't explain. NBC Charlotte's Xavier Walton just wrapped up an interview with that woman. He joins us now with her story.
Slideshow.
Vicky Cook.
Was it went in front of my camera?
Well, she's still scratching her head.
Sometimes I said, this can't be real.
Her video, well, it's grainy.
At least 7 or 8.
But her conscience is clear.
Screamed.
Is
I
the
didn't know
audio
what
okay?
it
Let me
was,
know
but
in
that
the
thing
chat.
was tall.
She says the Sasquatch sighting started back in March.
There's one, there's another one.
Footprints are Vicky's proof.
I think I've counted about 8 different size prints. A 16-inch plaster cast. Maybe a juvenile, but look how long it is. That's a big print.
Coming through there,
From here, there,
and then going back.
through that hole there. And it's no bears. I already been through all that.
Are you sure it's not any bears?
There's no bears.
For centuries now, trackers have been trying to trap the elusive creature. John Bruner documents sightings across the country and runs the Bigfoot 911 Facebook page.
It was huge. It was on 2 legs. It was bipedal. The hair on the head and the body was real stringy and matted. There was no hair on the face, and the nose was flat.
And right now it's showing all the pictures I've taken.
Back to Vicky.
Well, I take them things mostly like candy, and
She says she doesn't want her neighbors going hungry.
they love peanut brittle. They're not too crazy. They don't like apples and bananas. I don't know if it makes them,
What's their favorite?
the candy.
In Cleveland County, I'm Xavier Walton for NBC Charlotte.
An interesting note,
mystery
though,
tonight in North Carolina
in
in the
a lot
forest,
of
a
the Bigfoot lore, they do like apples. Interesting. Maybe they also like peanut butter. Vicky, if you're watching this, peanut butter. That's neat. I mean, I'm not sure about her
Woman says
videos
she is
here,
seeing something very strange, something that she can't explain.
because
NBC
those
Charlotte's
do
Xavier
look like dudes in suits for sure. But I mean, maybe those were dramatized for the news. I have no idea. Cool though. I mean, she wouldn't be the first person to say that they have regular visits. Who knows? Who knows? Just gonna breeze the comments as per usual. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't put the pictures in there, but don't know. She seemed like she believed it, unless somebody's fucking with her, which might be what's happening. Poor lady. All right, a list of UFO sightings from astronomers. All right, this is a little bit old. It's from a while ago. I don't remember. Let's see. This listing is developed from one that was published in the UFOIC newsletter Australia and reprinted in the fall 1973. A little bit old. Anyway, the whole thing, I don't know if you remember on the podcast over the winter, I think, I covered astronomers' notes on phenomena on the moon and how bizarre it is, because these are literally people trained to look at the moon, and there's a bunch of shit they couldn't explain. So I found this, which is over on Scribd, which is a list of sightings by astronomers. It's a fantastic list. It's not super long. Jesus Christ, Scribd. But yeah, swing over there, check it out. It's, again, just like the moon thing, people who are trained to look there. They know what they're looking at. Let's jump to the latest one we can read without me paying for it. May 11th through 13th, 1845. Okay, we're before planes. Ehrman sends me a report of Capochi about bodies which he has seen pass in front of the sun on 11 to 13 May. He has also seen bodies of indeterminate shape like shadows pass, and for this reason the idea occurred to him there could be nearer bodies, and therefore that one must pull out the eyepiece further in order to see them clearly. In fact, when he pulled out the eyepiece 1 to 2 centimeters, he saw these bodies pass by with a very definite outline. They had irregular shapes. A few went quickly like shooting stars, others remained visible 2 to 3 seconds, and so on. Clearly not planets. Clearly something in the sky well before we're up there. Anyway, it's over on Scribd. Definitely worth breezing through. On Wednesday, we're back to the big guy. My note here. My note just says the big guy's meat paddle. So, whatever this means. Claims of Bigfoot's... Oh, good, it's his hand. Claims of Bigfoot's hand caught checking out the infrared on trail camera. Mixed reviews. Yeah, fucking bet. All right, we're full screen, we're HD. Let's see.
That's pretty eerie, right? But not as eerie as Bigfoot's hand caught on a trail camera. This was uploaded to a cryptozoology page claiming that this is a legit capture. And I'm not saying that this is a legit video, but it does look very strange. It's as if this Bigfoot, I said that doing the old hand quotes, it's as if the Bigfoot can see the infrared rays coming from the trail camera.
Okay, so last week I felt like I was very hard on things. I felt like last week I was just shitting on everything. So I tried to pick a bunch of stuff and I'm failing at it apparently. That was cool that I couldn't really shit on or didn't really have much of a reason to. God damn it, that could be anybody's hand, right? I'm not a hand guy. I'm not what's somebody who studies primates, what are they called, a primatologist maybe. Maybe that's a primate only hand, I don't know. That could be anybody's hand. The only thing I find actually interesting is the person doing the commentary there says it's almost as if the Bigfoot can see infrared light. I really like that. Birds can see ultraviolet. Maybe a Bigfoot can see infrared. Who knows? I love that idea. I'm not saying it's real or proven or anything. That's a cool idea. As for the video itself, Jesus Christ, what a disappointment. Finger movement doesn't look natural with the little fingers bend, doesn't deform the skin properly. 85% certain that's a rubber glove. There we go. Hands look super stiff as if it's some sort of glove. Yeah, this guy's videos are the worst. Well, at least we're not talking about me yet. Yeah, what a disappointment. Sorry, everybody. Moving on. All right, so Avi Loeb. I've got two Avi Loeb moments here. One is this great article Should we trust our future AI scientists? Scientific progress may accelerate when artificial intelligence explores data autonomously, without the blinders imposed by human prejudice. On the other hand, all right, let's see. I'm just going to go over a quick bit. I won't drag it on. The mainstream of physics routinely embarks on speculations. For example, we invested 7.5 billion euros in the Large Hadron Collider with the hope of finding supersymmetry without success. We invested hundreds of millions of dollars in the search for weakly interacting massive particles as dark matter, with no finding after 4 decades. In retrospect, these were searches in the dark, but one wonders why were they endorsed by the mainstream of the scientific community, while less speculative searches are not. Consider, for example, the search for equipment in space from extraterrestrial civilizations. Our own civilization launched 5 interstellar probes. Moreover, the Kepler satellite data revealed that a substantial fraction of all sun-like stars have an Earth-sized planet at the same separation. Given that most stars formed billions of years before the Sun, imagining numerous extraterrestrial probes floating in interstellar space should not be regarded as more speculative than the notions of supersymmetry. Which he makes a great point there. But, let me see where the fun bit is. Scientific innovation may accelerate in the future, not because humans will become more virtuous, but because artificial intelligence systems will lead the way. Our psychological blinders will be removed when AI systems will analyze data autonomously without guidance from humans. AI scientists might conclude objectively and without self-pity, Oumuamua does not resemble any comet or asteroid seen before it resembles artificial objects like 2020 SO. Before, but it resembles. With no prejudice, they might be first to discover their AI analogs sent to interstellar space by other civilizations. Jesus, what a mouthful. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. The only thing that comes up is what was it? The show Community, where someone develops an app to notice dick pics, and they just kept noticing everything, or I don't remember. There was some bit. Maybe they were trying to identify food. Maybe it was Arrested Development. Anyway, AI is not that great. Or is publicly available AI not that great? I don't know. He's right, though. We need an objective point of view is the ultimate point. And AI is probably our best chance at getting that. All right, so as far as the second Avi moment, I loved this. I smiled quite widely. Avi Loeb confronts SETI's hypocrisy loud and clear. Make sure you've got your volume up. It's beautiful. Here's Avi right
Avi,
here.
I get a little bit pissed off when you throw the entire scientific culture under the bus, because some of us have been thinking about and building instruments to find anomalies for a very long time. And I think that when we say that if we ever are going to announce such a detection, that we require extraordinary evidence, we're doing that as a way of differentiating ourselves from the pseudoscience that is so much a part of popular culture, with UFOs and all kinds of claims of things that people have detected. So
Okay.
I wouldn't be so hard on the whole culture, Abby.
Well, let me explain. To your first point, I'm talking about a factor of 1,000 in funding. I'm not talking about a factor of 2 over a decade increase in funding. I'm saying there is a discrepancy by a factor of 1,000 in what needs to be the case relative to what is the case of the community that you are talking about. A factor of 1,000 is a big factor in funding, and moreover, it's even a bigger factor in bullying, because anyone that makes a suggestion in the direction of technological signature is being bullied and ridiculed.
I don't feel
Wait a second, let me finish. Now, my second point is, we need extraordinary evidence and then step on the grass and not allow it to grow, which is currently the case. We need extraordinary evidence, but anyone that mentions this possibility is ridiculed by some blogger that doesn't even write a single paper in a decade. That makes no sense whatsoever. This blogger should first practice science.
Well, some of us do.
No, let me finish. How dare people make statements about scientists that explore these possibilities within the scientific method? That's the acidic culture that I'm talking about. There is an acidic culture that suppresses innovation in the current culture of science. And
he's absolutely right. Absolutely right. If you don't know, we've talked about Avi Loeb quite a bit. He's the head or former head of the Harvard Astronomy Department. He's totally right. It gets suppressed and ridiculed. And now with all these things coming out, and anyone watching the show is well aware, it's becoming ridiculous to see it suppressed and ridiculed. I mean, it was always kind of ridiculous, but it's like absurd at this point. Good for Avi. Love that feller. All right, moving on to Thursday. $1 million worth of extraterrestrial warfare. All right, so Extraterrestrial Warfare by Robert Suggs, June 1965, Combat Operations Research Group. This is coming from the Black Vault, good old St. John Greenwald. This document appeared on eBay and had no other information than the title and a price tag of $1 million. So the Black Vault chased it through FOIA. It was received and is now archived below. I have not read it yet. You can see it's 19 pages. It's right here. I downloaded it. I have not read it. $1 million for 19 pages. I did read a little bit, a smidge. Not enough to say I read it, though. What it sounded like to me was extraterrestrial, just meaning warfare that we are doing, not on the planet. You know, think, I don't know, us in little X-Wings and a foreign country in little X-Wings shooting at each other. They're not talking about how do we fucking blow up aliens. That doesn't seem to be what the paper's saying. It's got a hot flash for title, but that's it. And I am so glad nobody paid $1 million for it. But it's right over there on the Black Vault if you want to check it out. I downloaded it. I threw it in my big digital pile of, well, everything the Black Vault releases. Moving on. Oh boy. Okay, so this is where we're going to get into our fun stuff. It's Shadow People Thursday. Before I get going, I mentioned I have some experience in this field. I do. I've written about it on the LowStrangeness blog if you want to check it out. I've told the story many times. I've had a couple of other ones throughout my life. Nothing super incredible, but just enough to make me uncomfortable. But those are all over on the LowStrangeness blog if you want to check it out. Anyway, let's get going. Shadow People Thursday. This first one was difficult for me to see, and I'm glad that they added a red circle to highlight what looks like a shadow person, perhaps. I don't know if it is or not, but let's take a look. It's going to be right here. Okay, did you see it? Let's go back. Let's play it again. I don't think it is. It's going to be right there. Boom. It just looks like somebody in the dark leaning out. But that was not the only one. We've got a bunch of stuff this week. And like I said, it was just weird to me that like all of these things, I normally don't get a lot of Shadow People content. So it was very strange to see a bunch of them. Okay, so this fucking TikToker here, you're doing good work. I'm glad that you are bringing it to people, but I find this shtick boring. However, the channel they're talking about and the the videos. I'm sure you've seen, but I've never seen the extended clips of them. So here they go.
Please do.
It comes from this YouTuber.
Hey, that's my neighbor Ken.
Trigger warning, slight jump scare.
Considering his house used to be occupied by an undertaker, I'm not surprised.
Okay, there he is, in the window again.
I've covered this video before.
Yeah, when it comes to that place,
And I'm pretty sure that when I covered it before, I was like, that seems like somebody just pulling it down. Well, it gets better.
What do you think, Ken? Was that a jump scare? Hold my beer.
Hello? Oh, fuck! Whatever this was in the window, its arm was moving up and down really fast. I have seen a lot of things in still shots and video recordings that didn't make sense. And I also saw a lot of things that were just beyond amazing.
See, things like that
Sometimes you'd see this activity in real
could be
time.
someone, but there does seem to
Sometimes
be
you
like
don't
a
realize you
translucence to
captured
it.
something until you view your recording or look at your still. You guys say something or do something. Oh my god!
That seems like a very solid form to me, but some of the other ones don't look totally solid at all.
Or was he coming out through the wall?
See? That one's eerie as shit. To me, anyway.
I'm thinking about going ahead and doing some more screenshots on it and show people that that's not me doing the EVP set. Oh my!
I love that reaction. But that also looks a lot... If that was the only one I saw, I would have thought it was just a hoax. Still could be.
This was without a doubt one of the most scariest encounters I ever had, mainly because this was unexpected, that this apparition and I were standing face to face. Oh my god! This strange anomaly was levitating in midair. While levitating, it was also moving up and down, as if it was coming after me.
See, shadow would be totally black. Anyway, that is that. I've never seen all of those clips before, so I'm really glad that I checked it out, despite the setup of the video. The bummer about that, though, is even though there are a couple in there that I'm like, oh, fuck, maybe, there's a couple in there that do not look like it. And in the case of one person making all the videos, if one's proven fake, I have to assume they all are. And some of them definitely look fake. Moving on to the third shadow person thing on Thursday. I know many think I edited my photos. Great way to start off. But I didn't. All right. I have a motion camera, so it moves toward the motion. So I went back and found the image that was captured 6 minutes before the first at 3:52 p.m. Second image at 3:58 p.m. Same day. All right, so here is the... Yeah, it's fucking bizarre. Bizarre. This one almost looks like... oh, there's a little debris over here, too. This might be possible with data bending. I'm not sure. Or it could be possible by having a large picture and only selecting the black and copying it. But there are trails here. It could be digitally edited for sure, but it just looks like the camera doesn't like this section unless this was added in later. blocked your previous post. Let's check out the previous one. Light. Oh, I see. Okay. I don't know. I don't care about that. But the fact that they're sending up, I don't know. I'm trying not to be harsh on people. Yeah, I mean, it's bizarre, but I would say that that's probably the best one we've got so far out of tonight's batch anyway. I don't see anything with anyone with good explanations, which generally they'll pop up because people want to tear things apart on Reddit, obviously. About the broom that only appeared in that photo. What? Look at my original post. The broom is still... Oh, wait. Did I miss something? Hold on. I'm doing all of this to go find a broom. This is in the first post. I don't see a fucking broom. All right, I'm giving up. It's not worth it to go dig out a broom. Moving on into Friday, more shadow people shit. I mean, there it is right there. I've been seeing shadows out of my kitchen door for a few days now, but I've never thought about it much. Today, I again felt some shadows moving about, hence I clicked the picture. I think I see something. Please, can you people verify? Look at the doorway, and sorry for the slightly hazy picture. I mean, unless it's a stain on the door, but I hope they're not talking about this, because I feel like this is the important thing. So I hope this isn't it. This just looks like somebody with a fucking sheet over their head. Yeah, it's hard to tell without the context of a normal picture. Yeah, I agree. It was like killing a fly. As soon as I felt moved, I didn't blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I'm not even entirely sure what they're claiming is it. Is it this? Is it this? Let's I mean, it's not going to improve the quality at all, but is it the whole thing? This is transparent here, but it's behind this. So yeah, I guess maybe it is this whole thing. It's interesting, for sure. But look, this is all doubled. So that would make sense for this. Yeah, the camera just fucking... It's almost like she shook or something when she took the picture. I don't know. I don't know about this one. This part to me would be more interesting than this. This just looks like somebody with a sheet over their head. Or like somebody said in the thread, just Photoshop brush bloop. I don't know. I'm trying to give out a lot of I don't knows this week. Alright, also on Friday, this little thing caught my attention. Cloud dots. Has anyone seen similar dots in clouds before? I'm a big cloud. I love looking at clouds. I have a favorite type of cloud. I'm fascinated by things like clouds are super heavy. I like when they move in packs. Like, it's fucking stupid, I know, but I genuinely just really think clouds are cool. So I was like, what? Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll zoom back out because it's easier to see like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I see 7. I saw 6 earlier. I guess my brain might be filling this in as 1. But there's definitely at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clear dots. Maybe 6, maybe 7, maybe 8, maybe 9. I've never seen anything like this before. This is crazy to me. Is this a weather phenomenon that I don't know about? Is this something that you've ever heard of? Or I'm not claiming that this is anything at all other than bizarre. Because if it was me and I looked up in the sky and saw that, I would be frozen in place. I wouldn't know what to think about it. This is an excellent picture, an excellent shot from user Trapper Dabber over on our High Strangeness. Looks similar to dust on the sensor lens. It's this especially if you're using interchangeable lenses. Then the rest of the picture should have the same dots in the same spot, right? They only usually show up with high contrast shots with a high aperture. That's where you'll see them on clouds. Motherfuck. Damn, there's a lot I don't know about photography. Yeah. I feel like the only way that we would know that is if we had a second or third picture. My brother, they asked if he took other pictures. My brother had sent this to me in a text while he was driving through the park. It was taken with a newer iPhone. The original pic is not nearly zoomed in, so it's made me think it's not from dust or anything. All right, so if it's on an iPhone and it's not with interchangeable lenses, that rules that out, right? Pic was taken yesterday in Golden Gate Canyon State Park, Colorado. I see 6 faint dots in the cloud. Any ideas what it could be? This is a zoomed in shot of the original image, which we just saw. Bring out the dots without editing the pic. So this is, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I still think maybe 7. This guy also says the same thing, but if it was really taken with an iPhone, then I don't know. Then I don't, maybe it couldn't be. Can it? Do I have any photography folks watching the show? I'm going to show this to you one more time. And if you're a photography person, if there was dust, can you get dust on the lens on an iPhone to produce this effect where you would only see it in a high contrast area? Is that possible? Really strange, really cool. Moving on. Ex-CIA on disclosure seeding, hybrids, and more. We're not going to get into the whole thing. This is just a quick thing I saw on Reddit. Ex-CIA officer John Ramirez on the Gillibrand, is it Gillibrand or Gillibrand amendment, the CIA seeding ideas into movie scripts and why Lou can't say hybrids. I'm not going to read over the whole thing. If you want to check it out, links in the description. Basically, this ex-CIA officer, which that credibility could go either way, talks about how we've been seeding disclosure into TV and movies and comic books and popular culture in general for decades, which I think any UFO paranormal buff probably said, yeah, obviously. And why Luke can't say hybrids. He kind of only touches on that. He doesn't really. He just says that there have been strange medical experiments. We can't really talk about it. Like hinting that there's some sort of fucking X-Files hybrid program, but not necessarily. All right, moving on. Lastly, on Friday, old video with 13 UFOs. Now, I'm sure you've seen this video, but it's the conversation afterward that I want to have.
Okay, I'm gonna put this camcorder down. Hey, this is Matt driving a boat home after a rough day out in the ocean. They're being surrounded by friggin' UFOs, or the Coast Guard. Following us in, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 lights we see there. They've been coming on, they were 7 lights. Oh, this is a big deal. Keeping pace with us.
So that's the end of that video, and one of the popular explanations were these were from an oil rig, basically, where there were flares or whatever. But and then Fata Morgana also. However, this comment section has some great insight into that. Let's see. All right, so Fata Morgana and an oil rig. Perfect. Not everything that is above the water automatically falls into the Fata Morgana category. The light are at different heights, and Fata Morgana creates an invisible band horizontally at the same height. If it were covering oil rigs, you would see the arm of at least a few of them. The lights are also ridiculously large for the flames at that distance. Large lights and the distance required for Fata Morgana, as well as not seeing any part of the oil rig, does not add up. Military shoot flares maybe? They hang in the air for quite some time and the parachutes wouldn't be visible. I think if there is a down-to-earth solution, yeah, military shoot flares is probably the most likely. It's one of the explanations for the Phoenix lights. It's we saw that video out of the Mojave last year. Possibly, but I definitely think the oil rig Fata Morgana is not accurate at all. He does, however, say that the lights are keeping pace with them, and that's not something we necessarily pick up on in the video, but I definitely think it's a note that should be taken seriously. Unless he just saw the flares and ran with the story because he's out on a boat and he's having a couple beers with his friends. I don't know. It's a cool video, though. It's a classic. All right, moving on to Saturday, Kid and Dad UFO. All right, so this one I saw this morning, and I have no recollection of it.
What the fuck? Oh my god! What the fuck? Tata! Tata!
Oh, I remember. Okay, so I'm going to just stop right here and say I know that this looks like the bokeh effect that you get from cameras. I know that. We're not saying this is a diamond-shaped UFO, okay? The diamond shape is clearly from the camera. But it is a strange red light.
Snimaj. Moram ja se telefon.
Gdje sad, gdje?
Eno ga. What the fuck, nestalo?
Nestalo?
I love that.
Eno ga, eto.
What the fuck is universal? Beautiful.
Šta se dešava?
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Nema ga.
Ali vidi se ovako.
Kako je brz?
What the fuck? Stavi na internet, tata. Majke ti. Otišlo, tata. Vidi koliko brzo. Tata.
I'm watching the tree. It does appear to be moving, just going on the tree line.
Otišlo, nema ga, gotovo.
Ja ti
Then it's
kažem
gone.
donesi kameru, ti spravi
Could have been a
pamet.
lantern, but
Doneo sam.
quite a long way away from the camera once they zoom out. Don't know, kid. I wish I could tell you. All right. Also on Saturday, also yesterday, military.com posted this article, Spike in UFO sightings across the nation. They say pretty much what you would expect. People got excited over the first half of the year, especially with the lead up to the report and then the report afterward. And people are looking to the sky now, and they're filming shit, and that's a good thing. Thank God they are. People should be doing this all the time. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have seen that shooting star. Well, I did hear the sound. Most of the weird things I've seen is because I just keep that in the back of my head. Look up. So I don't know. It's good to know that that's actually making a noticeable difference, that there was a spike in sightings. Now, obviously, a lot of these could just be misidentified things, but that's not the point. The point is people are open and people are looking. And that's cool as hell. Moving on. Let's see. This is just quickly. I will run through this. We're running a little bit long here. DonkeyJunk.com had a brief but cool article about Max Spears, who was a UFO researcher who, like many of them, disappeared. Well, he died mysteriously with allegedly some strange gunk leaking out of his body for no reason. Really weird story. DonkeyJunk.com has the article. There's a nice video over. Tell me it's YouTube/DonkeyJunk. Yeah. Over on Donkey Junk's channel. I'm just going to say Donkey Junk as much as I can for the rest of the show. Definitely check it out. Max Spears. It's a weird story. It's pretty cool. There is a sense of purposeful disinformation in Max's story. Not necessarily on his part. But I'll let you discover it. It's very strange. I'm always fascinated with these people, the researchers who die very mysteriously. D. Scott Rogo is a personal favorite of mine, and also very sad, very strange story. Anyway, lastly of the week, and probably the best thing I'm going to bring you this week, a thread from Reddit of what was the best evidence of the big guy's existence, aside from the PG film. Harry and the Hendersons, I imagine is what they're talking about. All right, not going to waste all this time reading this, but look at this. From the Weird Tales podcast, they posted a great amount of stuff. Do you want to jump through just a smidge of it? It looks like they also gave everything a rating system, which is awesome. Looks like it's descending, and then there's compelling but not totally credible. Let's just check out a little bit of it. This is
Oh,
the
there you go.
Freeman film, it's called. You've probably seen a bunch of these. That's a fucking... If that's a dude in a suit, that is a big dude in a suit.
Get up here where I can see me real quick.
That's a good one. Fair enough. Let's check out a few more. The Stacy Brown thermal footage. I think I remember this.
Meet your next pillow.
I don't care.
Why do we
about
make
my
our
next
pillow in the shape of a cube? I'll tell you.
All right. It's only a minute 13. We'll watch the whole thing. May 8th, 20... You can read. I think. May 8th, 2012. Just in case you can't read. Here's the full clip. All right, there we go. Yeah, the movement's accurate. Big guy just taking a leak on a tree. Now I'm done. Gotta go. That looks great. That's great footage. Wow. I don't think I have seen that before. Great footage. Gray's Harbor Thermal. We'll watch. Okay, so here's a cool thing. Not only did they link the footage, they linked Para Breakdown's video. Para Breakdown are brutal to a lot of paranormal videos. I highly suggest them if you really want to exercise your skeptic abilities. So we're gonna watch both of these, and then you know, I'll leave it to you after that. Anyway, here is Gray's Harbor thermal Sasquatch footage. I'm hoping he's going to get up and move around or something. Otherwise, I can totally see why Para Breakdown would have taken this video on. Pile of hot rocks or something. I'm just going to... Fucking deer. Oh, shit. What is this? I can't see what kind of animal it is. I could rewind if I wanted to, but let's check out Para Breakdown's video on it. Oh, cool. There's a bunch of Para Breakdowns. We will not be watching all 13 minutes.
Wandering past. In attempting to make some kind of comparison, I used many silhouettes of cows in different degrees of poses to resolve the question. I was unable to make any match at all. A real concern was with the ears. A cow's ears will show up on thermal very easily, and they seem to be absent from what we could only surmise as the head area of the subject. Using a bear for comparison wasn't any better, and it was reported that there are no bears known to be in the area. But that doesn't exclude the possibility of it being a person. But before we look at that possibility, let's have a look at the image quality. The footage was shot with a borrowed FLIR model BTS XR Pro with an attached 65mm lens that was set to 2x zoom. John and Ben had zero experience with this camera or any other FLIR camera for that matter, so it was no wonder that the subject was out of focus.
I'm going to jump to the end. Oh my god, ads. Fuck it.
You went Japanese snacks. The boy.
So you got a taste there of what Para Breakdown does, and they take it very seriously. The fact that he wasn't immediately shitting on it lends it, at least the footage, some value, in my opinion. This is a great list. Thank you so much, Weird Tales Podcast. That's awesome. Anybody watching, I definitely suggest checking it this whole thread out. Great stuff in here. Fantastic. The link is in the description. Oh man, and that's that. We did run a little bit long this week. Let's grow up. We grew up a little too big. There we go. All right, my mask mark has still not gone away. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out once again. Weird stuff. I'm really trying to not be too hard on things, because these things, while they're serious and they do matter, it's also supposed to feel satisfying in a way. And constantly being shit on, I don't know, it sucks the fun out of it. You know, I know that a lot of people are not as serious as I am when it comes to like having answers and getting to the bottom. And a lot of people just look at this stuff as just some fun hobby, and that's fine, and that's great that there's any interest in it at all. So I'm really trying to not just ruin the fucking fun. So I apologize if that's how it seems. Anyway, once again, thank you so much for hanging out. If you would like to help support the channel, there's some links down here. There's my Patreon that supports this channel. It supports my music and painting and all of the stupid things I do. Or if you want to help one time only, there's a nice Cash App or a Venmo there. Anything helps, and I very much appreciate it. Like I said at the start of the show, I don't think I'm going to be doing an episode next Sunday, just so I can recover from the holiday and digest the 84 pounds of potatoes that I'm going to eat. And that's that. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you afterward. Take care, y'all. Bye.